Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby. I wanna look.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Dildos.
That's nice, but they also have, like, I saw online where before they were selling hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was, it was an external hard drive, and they created the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of the USB hooking up to a hard drive inside, what they actually did was they got a flash drive, a thumb drive, and they hooked it up in the case. So when you hook your USB cable into it, you were actually plugging into a USB drive. And then they overwrote the firmware to say rather than, like, maybe this thing held, 16 gigabytes, they overwrote it so that it would say that it had 2 terabytes. But once you wrote 16 gigs, and then you wrote more, it would overwrite it again. It would just keep overwriting. So it looked like you had a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Interesting.
Until...
Well, that's
Sneaky, huh?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I ordered a 3 terabyte hard drive or something like that.
Well,
See if it works.
write 50 gigs and see if they all come back alright.
The good thing about this is they use a rating system, so if they screw you over, it'd get, like, negative ratings.
Yeah,
Catch on
that's
to that.
good. I would hope that would work.
Yeah. So far, everything I've got from them has been pretty legit, and so I've been getting more stuff. The only problem is it's shipping from China, so you gotta wait a while.
Yeah, the little thing I had in my car,
That was from Taiwan, I thought.
No, it's from China. It was from Alibaba.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's from Taiwan. You know why?
Why?
It's if you connect to Bluetooth, it's called car kit underbar TW, which is Taiwan.
Oh, is it? I don't know, but I got it off Alibaba. But, I mean, it took a shitload of time to ship. It's fine, though. I never had any
It
problems
takes
with it.
about 3 or 4 weeks to ship.
Bluetooth's a little shitty.
The Bluetooth is a bit shit. It's
I don't know,
hard
this Fitbit thing that I ordered from them is pretty legit. It works just fine.
Cool. Well, it works for you then. It's good.
Yeah.
And then I ordered, I'm making a Magic the Gathering cube, which is like a big stack of cards that you can use for multiplayer.
Okay.
So I ordered,
No idea.
like, Magic the Gathering fakes. And it's
Oh,
like,
some fakes.
Yeah, like, I have, like, a Black Lotus now, which is, like, I don't know how many thousands of dollars for that, but it was, like, $12.
It's just ridiculous that those
That
are
and other
actually
prices.
thousands of dollars. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
fucking
just a-
cardboard with
yeah.
a picture printed on
Exactly. It's just a fucking piece of cardboard, so it's not like it makes any real difference to me that what I'm using. It's like, I just want to have the card available to be played. Yeah, it is kind of weird how cardboard has that value, even though, like you said, the actual value of it is, what?
it. Yeah, basically zero.
Yeah, less than a cent to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, like, how currencies work. It doesn't actually need to have intrinsic value. If it is verifiable as a an actual real card, right? You can verify
Have, financial backing to it.
it's real or not before you enter into a tournament.
So that's the thing. I don't know how... I mean, for high-level tournaments, probably, but for low-level, no.
Okay, so you can't enter into a high-level tournament with a fake card, right?
Correct. I'm
So
sure
it has-
they check at that level. But
It has at least that intrinsic value.
But if you're at a high-level tournament, you could get to a high-level tournament with with fake cards, and then when you get to that level, get real ones.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, there's something you can't fake.
True.
And even the fact that it is verifiable, so it's verifiable whether... I mean, it may be very painstaking to verify.
Yes.
But you can verify, correct? There are only so many of these in existence.
Yeah, you can verify it, but you have to be a pretty good expert on them. And some of them, like, it's so hard to tell the difference. The only way people that aren't, like, super experts can actually tell the difference is by ripping it. So it's like, you can't really verify.
But what's the intrinsic value of a Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just
or
the
a dollar
fact that
bill,
it's
even.
rare. But you can't fake a Bitcoin.
You can verify these things are real, that you can't create them at will, you can't counterfeit them easily.
But
so it's just proof of work.
But we are saying you can fake magic cards easily now. Bitcoins you can't.
No. You can't fake the authentic one. At some point, somebody can tell you whether or not it's authentic or not.
At some point, yes.
So there are unfakeable things about it, and so it can become a currency because it's inherently rare.
Yeah. And Magic's, like, their new sets now, they started making, like, little foil stickers at the bottom, so now they're harder to fake the newer cards. It's like, so they're trying, like, they're responding to it, but it's like, I get if I was trying to buy fake Magic cards and sell them or something, but I just want them for my own use, so I don't have to, like, print them at home and just have, like, a Magic card with a piece of paper in front of it.
Yeah.
Now I actually have a card.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that shit was a scam. That's why I never really wanted to buy.
Yeah.
Like, I think at some age I was like, I'm never buying into another CCG again. They're all just money scams. Like,
it's legalized
the more you
gambling.
pay, the better you can do.
Yeah. It's legalized gambling, and
and it's pay to be better.
Yeah.
Like, the person that pays more is probably going to be a better player to you until you get to the point where people are paying enormous amounts and you pay an enormous amount. Then it'll become about skill.
No, it's really about until you get to the professional level where, like, Wizards of the Coast sponsors you, so you don't really have to pay anything. You're getting paid to play.
Which is basically almost zero chance, which is...
I mean, I wouldn't say it's zero chance, but it's...
close to zero. Zero chance. There's
1%,
almost
1% of Magic players probably make it to the Pro Tour.
Not even 1%. You're terrible at statistics. 1% is a lot.
Well, I don't know. I knew a couple people that went to Pro Tour, so
that got paid to go.
Yeah, they went on a cruise
realistic
and everything.
salary.
No, they got paid to go to the Pro Tour, so they got paid to go to a cruise in Florida or wherever it was and play on the Pro Tour. And if you win a certain percent, you get money.
Okay. In a very inappropriate comparison, you know how they get those girls to do the webcam?
Yeah.
Yeah, they pay them too, and then put them into beautiful homes, beaches, and all that. Give them money, expenses, get them hooked to the lifestyle. And then they just make more money. They get what they're trying to do is entirely the PR, right? They give them this flashy treatment, saying like, "Hey, play the Magic cards. You can be this person who enjoy this life, and you can reach it."
I don't think they're doing that.
So as soon as the webcam is turned off, they're like, "Get the fuck out."
No.
Yeah, they're not very flashy with
it's
Magic
so
Pro Tours.
Or at least as soon as they age, they're probably like, "Get the fuck out." Sorry, you hit 25.
Oh.
Got to go.
Sad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's to actually get paid to play on a regular basis is probably that's like really, really low percentage. But it's a decent.
That's what I was referring to.
It's a decent chance to go on the Pro Tour because they have local events all the time where part of the winning is an entry.
I see. Did you see? There was recently something on Reddit where it was like one of those stand-up comedian shots. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, stand-up.
And they're like, "I'm a nerd," and I don't mean like I'm a nerd like, "Heh, I like Star Wars. I'm such a nerd."
Yeah.
It's more like I'm a nerd. I went to a Magic the Gathering tournament as a fan.
That's fun.
I saw that.
Yeah, I just went to Origins. That's the only thing I didn't get in, is I wanted to play a Magic the Gathering draft.
Oh, Origins again?
Yeah. A lot of fun.
It's the last time we went to that. Oh man, it's been a while.
So long ago.
Feels like it's
Holly
forever
might have
ago.
seen my post, but they made a new Rick and Morty board game that I got, and it's actually really good.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah? It's
It
a
was,
good Rick and Morty game?
It was... Oh, what's his name? It was the amusement park inside the guy's stomach, or body. Ruben? Anatomy Park. That's what it was called.
I don't remember that episode at all, but okay.
How the hell don't you remember Anatomy Park? That one's hilarious.
I don't remember either.
Nope.
It's one of the, first episodes. It's, it's in the first...
I mean, I have only watched all of them one time.
Oh. I'm about to do it a third time.
Jesus Christ, man, you got a problem.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. It's one of those shows that I like having...
It's good, I just wouldn't watch it 3 times. I actually have a fairly standard rule. If something is in, one of the great things, I will rewatch it at least about 5 years later.
Yeah, but this is, my favorite show of all time kind of thing.
Of all time?
It's up there, yeah. That or
I think Rick and Morty's good. I don't know of all time.
Nah, I'm thinking it's of all time. It's close. That or Breaking Bad. But I love the sci-fi concepts in Rick and Morty so much.
What would be your favorite TV show of all time, Chloe?
Let's see.
Westworld?
Westworld games are very close. Also Firefly. I really liked it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Westworld.
You gotta have one.
One favorite. I would say Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, that's a good one.
I don't know, The Wire might be it for me.
Really?
Yeah,
Trending towards The Wire.
has a slow start, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
see, Breaking Bad beat The
but
Wire
once
for
it got
me, 'cause
started,
The
it was
Wire
amazing.
has some filler in it and some slow parts.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think ultimately it was smarter. It just had...
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
In the end,
it actually had a lot
Doesn't
more to
mean
say
it's more
about
entertaining
society, and
it's more real.
yeah, it's more realistic. It's actually funnier too. I like the last season. It wasn't good in the sense of being realistic, but it was good in the sense of being hilarious.
Yeah, well, the second...
And actually, the ending was really
What was
good
it, the
for the series. It had a great ending.
Second or third season of... The one with the longshoreman. It wasn't, that one really is slow for me. That one wasn't that as good.
No, but I thought it was pretty good in...
It had its slow moments.
I thought it was good in bringing in another part of town.
Yeah. Which
there's
is
a
one of the
whole
parts
nother
I loved
world
about it.
of the city that you don't even know.
Yeah.
But it
That runs
can,
the whole
in some
city.
way, creep in to the rest of the city.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about The Wire, is they've said the main character isn't any particular individual. It was definitely McNulty the first season, but really the main character was the city of Baltimore.
Yes.
No, I get that, and that's why it was a genius show. But overall entertainment value, which is why I watch TV, I'd say Breaking Bad got me. Especially because it gave me that feeling of the Wild West in modern times. And I really love... Yeah. There's a freaking train robbery.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't get the Wild West entirely. I mean, there are laws, and they're just trying to subvert
They're
them.
outlaws. What are they?
When
They're
I think
outlaws.
Wild West, though, I think, there's basically no law other than they go to some sheriff and they're like, here's your badge.
No,
and they're like,
the
now
Wild
there are all
West.
those cowboys that are outlaws.
The Wild West is usually about outlaws breaking the law. and
No,
doing their
it's
own
about
thing.
no. Deadwood did that, well, because it was actually in the Wild West.
Yeah.
Where there's no clearly defined law. Like the character they made,
no, that's not the Wild
the sheriff,
West.
Seth. He was not actually the law, right? They murdered all the time, and he knew they murdered. He just couldn't do anything about it, except get really angry.
But that's not the Wild West trope. Deadwood was...
Yes, it is.
Deadwood was taking what the Wild West TV and tropes were and breaking it to more reality of what the Wild West
No.
really was.
It was definitely... Well, there's definitely a differentiate, like, whether or not
like
the tropes were really what it was.
Wales.
Yeah, no. The lack of a coherent legal system is mostly what, when you watch TVs about the Wild West, is kind of the undercutting core of the concept is there's no real law around here except the law you make yourself. We're outside of civilization. We're at the fringe of the civilization.
You don't think that Breaking Bad sort of had that feel? That it wasn't really the law that controlled them so much as the cartels and the people way above them? It had law in it, and they were
there was certainly, like, there was an enormous legal apparatus.
Yes,
that's why they had to hire Saul. That's why they had Agent Hank. They had to constantly worry about him. They couldn't just go out and shoot all of them and be done with it. In Deadwood, you could go and slit Seth's throat, and that would be it.
But that's why...
But then you have to deal with all the other criminals that he dealt with. And they're like, nah, we don't want to actually go to that.
That's why I said it's the Wild West in modern times.
I don't know.
Because they had to deal with the law as well. But it was mostly people acting outside of the law and the consequences of doing so. And figuring out how to deal with that.
But I'm saying in that the law actually had basically authority, you know? If they did get caught, they were done, right?
Yeah.
But in the popular concept of the Wild West,
I think you're wrong on this.
Is if they got caught, it didn't matter.
No, because what happened in Breaking
they could just
Bad,
go shoot the sheriff.
No.
And then
you're totally
the sheriff
wrong.
actually has to just do it out of his own goodwill.
What's his name? The guy who ran the Dos Hermanos.
Gus Fring?
Gus. Who was his main connect, his big connect, and why he never got arrested? It was a guy in the FBI and the DEA.
But here's the thing. He had no idea that he was actually a drug dealer.
But the whole point was he didn't have to worry about the law.
But, see, that's the thing. In the Wild West, they know who the outlaws are. They know who's killing all these people. They just can't do anything about it. Or the fact that they actually try to do something about it, even though the odds are very much stacked against them, is what makes the story. Like, you know who the bad guys are. You have to go and fight them. And you'll probably lose, but you do it anyways because it's the right thing to do, partner.
Partner. Now, I don't know. I disagree. I think it still has that Wild West feel to it of these people being outlaws, and you're rooting for the outlaws at many times. Either way, they're both good shows. So, The Wire, I will give you The Wire is a smarter show, and Breaking Bad is just a more entertaining show, though.
I'll give you that it had more, I don't know, it never missed a beat.
Yeah, entertainment. It was a constant, there was always something going on.
There were certainly episodes of The Wire was like, nothing really happened.
It was like, okay, this is all leading up for the next episode.
Since I was working, a bunch of people who came from the visual effects industry, I really appreciate the visual effect they have done in Game of Thrones. I think they are fucking amazing.
It's not about the visual effects, it's about the cost that they do.
Oh, that's true.
Because movies, they do visual effects way better than Game of Thrones or any other TV show. It's just they cost fucking insane amounts of money.
But, well, depends on what kind of movie you're talking about. Their budgets may vary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their budgets are way higher for, like, Avengers.
But Game of Thrones does have pretty high budgets.
Yeah. But it's not
compared to a movie.
The Avengers.
Did you
like an episode of Game of Thrones might have like $1 million budget, whereas a movie like The Avengers has a $200 million budget.
Cost Game of Thrones per episode is $6 million. Cost of Avengers,
I guess it's like $250.
Infinity War is $1 billion.
Good lord, they had $1 billion budget for that.
$1 billion
Holy
budget.
Fuck!
So that covers 60 episodes.
Hold on.
No, that's more than 60 episodes.
No, the average per episode Game of Thrones.
That's way more than 60.
Is this 6 million?
Mm-hmm.
Only 6 million.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yes. The Avengers is $1 billion.
I did not realize.
So that's what's impressive,
those
is the cost.
Wait. Film production. So this is just production. Does it?
Hey, what was the cost of the first
marketing?
Avengers?
No, production.
What was the cost of the first Avengers? Because $1 billion seems fucking outrageous.
No, that's Infinity War. The cost of what's the
first
cost of Avengers? Do you just call that number one?
I don't know.
So
I think it was just called the Avengers. I don't know.
So from what I gathered, the animated films like you see from Pixar or anything cost over $100 million per minute to make.
I'm sorry, 220 million.
Okay, that's where I was getting my numbers from.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
For special effect, like Pixar, right? If you're trying to do a short film about 5 minutes, well, think about the cost. It's about $100 million a minute to render.
Just for computing power?
Not just computing. Well,
that's labor.
Well, you need artists to write.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Labor.
You need a pipeline
that's labor.
engineer.
Labor.
You need everything set up.
Labor, and
also rendering, which is machine. So everything set up on average, you're gonna get $1 million per minute. That's pretty standard. Depends on the quality, right? The quality you saw for the Pixar's animated film may go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Game of Thrones has that benefit, though, since they have a low budget, they have to be creative with what they do.
It's that, and I think they have a lot more time.
Yes.
So the Avengers, like, they probably said, okay, we're going to make this movie in 2017, and they decided that in 2015. You got 2 years.
Yeah.
They knew that they were going to have a dragon shot for Game of Thrones probably in, like, 2010. I mean, they knew there were eventually going to be dragons. Man, you need to get some fucking dragons rolling right now.
We need to get working on that.
And I think it's also clever. I mean, they must have been doing really well in their production.
Yeah.
To get it working.
Yeah. When's that come back on? That should be fucking soon, shouldn't it?
Game of Thrones? Yeah, I think it's next month, maybe? It's very close.
It's mid-July, yeah.
Mid-July? Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I need to download Better Call Saul. That's been really good lately. I haven't watched
I've been watching that too. Have you watched the whole... Yeah, so
I'm either
just
one or two behind. Yeah.
I just started watching Better Call Saul maybe a month ago.
Really? It's so good.
Yeah, at first I thought it started a bit slow, but once I got into it, it's actually pretty good.
I didn't even think it started slow. I thought I was roped in from the very first episode.
I mean, at first, there's really no tension between him and his brother.
Yeah, but they set up the characters.
Yeah. So once you start to see that... once that relationship breaks...
Yeah.
That's when I thought it got good. When he's, like, more adversarial. After you saw him and his brother being so subservient to him. And then it's like, oh shit, there's a lot more going on.
There's
here.
a lot going on. Yeah, it's been killing it. Are you completely caught up then?
Yeah. I watch it when it comes out the next day.
Yeah, I just realized I haven't downloaded the past one or two. So I'm up to, they've had like the jury and the trial, and he started selling the commercials to help pay for the rent because he got put on suspension for a year. So that's right where I'm at. In fact, the very last episode they were doing that, he had that community service, and he got...
Oh, yeah, and that guy tries to dick him over?
This is
where he finally fights back?
Yes, he fights back, and he helps the other guy out and gets money from him. Like best $700 I ever spent, or something like that, whatever it was. Amount. That was.
So you see how he can be so,
He's a devious man.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
Cunning.
It justifies it a bit, because that guy that he just kind of threatened to sue, was, official, right?
Yes.
But still kind of a prick and dicking him over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not scam that asshole?
Yes, he was doing he's becoming Saul.
Yeah.
More and more. Saul good, man.
I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. Chloe will keep you company.
Okay. Have you not been watching Saul? Better Call Saul?
No, I haven't.
Are you not a fan?
I watched some bits and pieces of it. Especially, I remember the one part where it's a court case with him sneakily implanted the cell phone battery.
That's a great episode.
That's pretty awesome.
That was actually one of the best episodes of the season.
Yeah.
He had his fat henchman sneak it in for him. His name. Fat black dude that laid on the money. What is his name?
I don't remember.
That dude's hilarious, and he has such a small role.
And he also had his brother's ex-wife showed up.
Yes.
That was like emotional straw, the last straw, that kind of thing.
I can't believe you haven't watched it all.
No, it starts a bit slow, and
I disagree with that assessment.
Well, it's like in the beginning, it sounds so depressing. By the way, I'm also not hugely into Breaking Bad either. I started watching like first 2 seasons, and I kind of got it stopped because it's just very, very depressing seeing Walter and his son foreverly eating breakfast. His wife is cheating, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so depressing.
It is not a happy show, that's for sure.
And then in the end, I think I watched the later half with Nick. Then I saw, Walter died. I was like, oh no, this is so sad.
That kind of had to happen in that show, though.
Can
he
we
had
just
cancer.
have this?
He was going to die one
Yeah,
way
I
or
know.
the other.
But I was expecting, can Walter just grab all the money and let those shitty people to die? I'm okay if he's spreading drugs or anything. But
I don't know.
No.
It certainly was a sad show. There was
What the hell did I just miss? Chloe's talking about letting people die?
What she's talking
no,
about,
just
Breaking Bad was a really depressing
sad.
show. It was a lot of... It really isn't an uplifting
Walter
show
lived.
at all.
No.
I mean, it starts off with a guy getting cancer, and he decides to pay for that by selling meth. There's no uplifting story to it.
No. Sometimes it hits too close to home, so.
No.
You know how I started watching that show? It's kind of cool, now I think about it. I was in a psychology class, and my instructor, was randomly just talking with a student about it, and I was like, what are you talking about? Because she started talking about it, and she was like telling the whole class about, this guy's diagnosed with cancer, and to fund his treatment, he starts selling meth, and it's the actor from Malcolm in the Middle. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what is going on? I was like, I have to check this out because that sounds outrageous.
Yeah.
Definitely worth. And I think that show definitely grew from word of mouth fast because of that.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Sure.
set up.
So
the premise
you're
for
saying it
people.
doesn't teach any lessons or anything, really?
I think it teaches lessons.
No, but it doesn't, like...
It's
It's not
just
an
sad.
uplifting story.
Yeah, you don't have to be an uplifting story to teach a lesson.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, I
Do you
think
think it
sometimes
tries to-
downers teach more lessons.
But
Like
do you think
Requiem
it-
for a Dream teaches more of a lesson than a lot of
Oh, that's another
drug-related
very,
shows.
very
That's true.
depressing show.
But, okay, here's a difference that I was trying to get at. Do you think it tries to teach a moralistic lesson?
How do you define moralistic?
So Requiem from a Dream, I could definitely see it trying to tell you, don't do drugs, alright? Definitely don't
specifically.
fucking do drugs.
Yeah.
Alright? Here are 4 short stories that are definitely do not do drugs.
I think in the long run it does teach that.
Well, what's the moral story?
So I think one of the big things is to don't always do something just for yourself, because you got to look at the long road and what you're really trying to accomplish. And that's one of the things, the very last thing that Walter realizes is the whole reason he's selling meth isn't to help his family and make money for his family. It's because he enjoyed it. It might have started that way, but the reason he continued to doing it is because he was good at it and he enjoyed doing it.
But do you think... Wait.
It's complicated, right?
Yeah, do you think that it was trying to teach you to not be Walter? It glorified him to no end.
Do I think it was trying to teach me to not be Walter?
Yeah. If that was the lesson, don't do what Walt White just did.
But
then,
it really didn't teach that lesson because it glorified him. But did it really glorify him when he got killed in the end? Is that really glorifying him?
I don't think the fact that he got killed in the end was the glorifying bit. I think he was a bit of a hero, right? He saved Jesse. He kind of died a heroic death.
But he did all that after realizing his lesson.
Did he? He still got his money to his son.
After
what?
After
so he
realized he was doing everything for himself.
Okay, he realized he was doing everything for himself.
So in the
but
end, he did it for his family. The one time he actually did everything for his family, he died a heroic death and actually helped.
No, the heroic death helped Jesse
and his family. He ended up leaving his family with all that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it did teach a lesson. After he learned the lesson, he ended up being a hero.
No, but so if he hadn't have actually done anything, he wouldn't have left them all that money. He wouldn't have even known Jesse.
But he would have never put his family through anything.
He wouldn't have gone through this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's just say he died of cancer, his family would have been fine and never gone through all this bullshit, and I think his family would have been better off.
Really?
So since they went through that, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
You think it would have been better or it wouldn't have been better if he just would have passed away from cancer and Hank didn't die? His wife didn't have.
Well, I'll tell you this: it would not have made as good of a TV show. It would not have been a good TV show.
I agree, but you don't think that would have been better for his family? His son wouldn't have to live a life where now everybody knows that his father this whole time has been a drug dealer that murdered all these people?
No one's gonna freaking Google your name and try to figure out who your father is.
I think his son's not very bright.
I think if this was a real-world situation, everybody would know this.
Oh, really? Think of one drug dealer's son. Very famous drug dealer's son. Can you name me one?
Drug dealer's son. Okay, you got me.
Okay, exactly.
But if I went to school with Pablo Escobar's son, I guarantee you everyone would know this person's name.
No. Not just went to school with Pablo Escobar's son. Went to school with Pablo Escobar's son like 10 years after it happened. No one's gonna know.
But that's different too, because it's not just went to school with his dad. Also went to the school where Pablo Escobar taught science in their hometown. Like it goes beyond that.
I'm just saying, his son What was it? His name was... What was his name?
Flynn.
Flint.
Flint.
No, that was his fake. His
Flynn.
name was
Flynn
Walt Jr.
Yeah, Flynn.
Right?
He went by Flynn after he didn't want his
all I
name
could
to be
remember
Walt.
was pancakes and breakfast.
Oh my god, I
really was
seriously
a
could not
shit
stand that
character.
kid.
Yeah.
Like, he was a necessary character, but he was like the low-level character.
Yeah.
He's so not necessary. Just like...
Do you know the fun fact about Walt Jr.?
No.
The only two main characters that never meet are Walt Jr. and Jesse.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
throughout
actually interesting.
whole series, they
'Cause
never meet each other.
Because one's his real son, one's kind of like a surrogate son,
Yeah.
sort of.
One's the son he actually
Yeah.
pays more attention to.
That's
He's
kind of
not
weird,
his
actually.
son. Yeah,
Huh.
Interesting aspect.
they never actually meet each other.
But still, I don't know if I take any moral lesson from Breaking Bad, because I thought it glorified Walt to a great degree.
It's definitely an
And not like his
anti-hero
choices were
story.
bad.
It-
I don't
Like,
think it's...
he not only did he do what he did because he was good at it, he wasn't just good at it, he enjoyed his life
That's...
so much
that's
more
my
because
point.
he was good at it.
Yes,
That's my whole
think-
point, though, is when he learned his lesson that he was doing all
I don't
along.
think he
the
learned a
show
lesson.
was set up
You
in the
don't think so?
situation. Think about
No.
it.
I think
You
he did at the
are
very end.
from this startup where you essentially got scammed, or scam was a strong word, but certainly he made some wrong choices. He let those money go where all his passions went in the career.
Yeah,
essentially
and then
gone.
he decided to throw
And then
his
he worked
passion.
for this fucking middle school, and all the teachers are not, all the students are not respecting him, treating him some like stupid person. And his wife obviously not respecting him, and his son is a moron. Like
His son wasn't a moron. His son was just...
Okay, not moron, but like his son was not, let's say, not sharp as the pins on the box. But
just because he wanted pancakes.
I would also
No.
say that
Let's just go on.
okay, so the show is just saying like what an average person would do in this kind of situation where socially the society crashed you down.
Yeah.
What would you do to change? And the last straw was the cancer, right? Like.
Yeah.
I just see a normal person got flipped and say like, fuck it, I'm just gonna live my life for a short period of time. This is what I accomplished.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could argue like, yeah, this is bad and like you killed a lot of person, morally you're bad, but I don't think he cares. I don't think anyone cared that much about other people's life.
That's what I would say is the question, is that would say whether or not he learned his lesson. Do you think, given the choice, he would do it all over again?
Yes.
I think he would say yes.
He would. I think you're right.
And then,
That is
in
a
which
good
case,
point.
he did not learn.
That's a good point.
There was no moral lesson. I think
It's just like, this is as much time you left,
Yeah.
so what are you gonna do with your life?
from that point on, he enjoyed his life. It was a good life for him. Even if it dicked over his family.
Power. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you got a very good point there.
And in a sense, I think what I was trying to get at was there's a bit of a difference in TV today versus like if you and I are growing up and we're watching Full House or something.
Yeah, they always have a lesson at the end of that.
Yeah, it's very nihilistic today. At least the good stuff is nihilistic.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Well, I would say like more prone to the reality.
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm a little nihilistic, so I think prone to reality is nihilistic.
Yeah,
It's exactly
I
true.
think that's true. You don't every day learn a fucking lesson because,
Yeah.
this such and such happened to you, did this the wrong way, and then at the end you have this realization with your family and you stare at the camera.
And now, Billy, you know why you don't lie.
Glad we
What's that from? Full House?
Like every show we watched in the 90s.
Oh, I see.
Everyone would end with some sort of lesson.
And South
Oh,
Park
that-
made fun of
that's
that by
pretty
making
stupid.
jokey lessons at the end.
Yeah.
But I will say Breaking Bad didn't glorify the use of drugs.
No. The one episode where they had the kid, it made me think, ew.
Yeah. Like, well, just with Jesse as a character, like, everything, he was the drug addict and he was always having problems. Like, he was never in a good spot because of drugs.
Yeah.
So, I will say that.
He was still one of the coolest characters, though, even though he did a lot of drugs. Science, bitch!
He was.
And remember, the sense of accomplishment that Walter feels when he brought Jesse, who's never listened to his class, super into a subject that he was teaching. This sense of achievement that he's never get with his actual son.
Yeah.
Right? That's another thing to achieve. Think about it.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like the little mafioso story, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of mafia stories have, like, I'm doing all this bad stuff so my son doesn't go into this life. But then they have kind of, like, the other character that's younger than them that is kind of like their real son, because they are teaching them the trade.
Going into the life, yeah.
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 For sure. It definitely had that.
It kind of has the same...
Vibe.
You know what? That's what it's more like.
Line.
Is a mafioso story than a cowboy outlaw story.
Yeah. I can see bits of cowboys. Just the fact that it's in New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Kind of gives it a little more...
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah. That you're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I think that's why they had Wild West tropes, like a train robbery in it.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of my favorite episodes when they do the train robbery. Just because of it.
Smart.
Oh,
it's
that
so
was...
genius.
I don't know if it was that one or the one after.
Where they have to deal with everything?
No, I thought... Well, what I thought was really clever was I think it was Jesse. It's been a while since I watched this. But I think it was Jesse that heard him just whistling, right? Really happily. Like, just do-do-do-do-do-do-do. After they just shot a kid in the face, right?
Heard Walt whistling?
Yeah. He just had a happy...
He wasn't beaten
demeanor
up about it,
about him, and it just he realized what an absolute sociopath.
Yeah, I know what you're
Walt
talking about.
is in some sense. Like the murder of a little child, it didn't really affect him,
but it wrecked.
He only
Jesse's
cared
life.
about. Yeah, he was only acting in some sense that he cared to preserve his image.
Yes.
But then again, in the end, he saved Jesse, so he did ultimately care about something.
Mm-hmm. But that's his whole story arc, though.
Yeah,
is he eventually realized the monster he became.
What I don't like Jesse is I feel like Walter spends so much time and energy teaching him, and he eventually becomes this ungrateful little cunt. That's how I describe him.
That's because he used so much drugs, and because Walt wasn't exactly that good to him.
He's fucking coward. Walt trying to bring him back on track. This to him, as whatever lowlife he is, it's a fucking career path. Alright?
It's a career path.
He could become the number one distributor or whatever manufacturer in the drug dealing business. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay, if you
what's the end goal?
No, if you have your fucking conscience, retain it from the beginning, don't enter it. Or you completely lose your conscience, become this cold-blooded warlord, drug lord.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't.
Trying to be soft and going to be tweeny. That's just a coward and ungrateful little cunt.
No. I think this goes back to some sense of the nihilism. Like, he didn't have the same sense of he enjoyed it. That wasn't his end goal. His end goal wasn't he enjoyed being in charge and he enjoyed the power. He didn't enjoy that like Walt did.
Yeah, Jesse never enjoyed that. He enjoyed
he
money
didn't want it
up to a point, and then he had that whole episode where he's throwing money out the window because he cared more about his morals than he did the money and power.
And that's what he sacrificed to get it. And he was like, I don't actually want any of this stuff. He didn't want to kill kids.
Yeah.
This is why.
That was the whole
juxtaposition
if you're a successful
of the characters. Person, you can be a successful and great person, or successful and really bad person.
Yeah.
Think about Hitler, right? Being an ungrateful little cunt, they're not gonna get you become Hitler. that path.
Yeah.
Right? So
That
he's
sounds along the
just
logic.
useless, that character.
Jesse?
Did you just
Yes.
go into Godwin's
No.
law about Breaking Bad?
All I'm trying to
He's
say...
just low coward, okay?
No.
Like that character.
I'm just saying, I think in some sense, Jesse would have preferred Walt's old life, and Walt definitely preferred Jesse's life, where he could have some sense of agency.
No, I think
Like in the
if Walter
beginning,
lived
Jesse was
his
all about
life-
money and power and
Yeah.
having that
I
image.
think if Walter lived another life, he will not abandon his startup.
That's true. I think that's true.
Would be a very different path.
But given if he had the point after that startup, would he make the same decision? Yeah, I think he would.
Yes, because
Definitely.
Walter.
But
deep
Jesse
down-
wouldn't.
Yeah, I think Jesse would more have chosen Walt's path.
Yeah.
Walt's original path of becoming just a boring, middle-class, suburban person.
No, he
I
won't.
think Jesse would have chosen that. Yeah,
No.
because
That's the
you don't
whole
fucking
character.
murder little kids in that path.
No, he won't. Because being that kind of person needs responsibility, and Jesse doesn't have that kind of responsibility.
You got me
That's that's exactly
No, I
the reason why
disagree.
he
I think
slipped
Jesse's-
into this low level.
Jesse
Yeah,
is
he's-
fine with responsibility. He only went back to drug use because they were fucking killing kids, and he couldn't deal with those issues. He got clean just fine until they started doing all these negative things again.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, he
the show
definitely
didn't show-
morally was a more like suburban middle-class Walt.
Yes, morally, yes, because that's how he is raised.
But I don't know if he
doesn't
could...
have the sociopathic kind of personality to succeed
Yes.
in either kind of industry. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Walter is different. Walter has a kind of personality, just very bad luck all along.
I don't know if he had
Yeah.
bad luck. Why would you say he had bad luck? I mean,
Well,
besides
Yeah, bad luck, he
getting
got fucking cancer.
I mean,
He
besides
got
getting
cancer.
cancer.
No. The core of it was he bailed out on his startup
Yeah.
before they hit it big.
But was that
And they
luck?
hit it big with whatever is...
That
yeah.
wasn't luck. That was his decision, though.
No, but it was luck. It could have gone nowhere, whatever his startup was. It could have just... Most startups fail. The vast majority
True.
of them fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was luck,
It
essentially,
left
that he
him
just
such
left.
a bad taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just stewed on that fact that, he could have been one of the big players. He could have been somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
He could be the charity giver rather than charity receiver. I think that's hits him a lot more.
So
on
which
the
character
esteem part.
do you
And the
like
inherent
more?
feeling that he deserved to be the charity giver.
Which
Yes.
character do you like more, Walt or Jesse, after watching the whole show?
Waltz.
Yeah, that's why I think it glorified
Really?
him. I think I like Walt more.
Yeah.
That's
well,
funny
if you're
because I
gonna do
actually
something,
like
do
Jesse
big.
more because of his character arc. Because he
I
does
don't have
start
any
off
empathy
as
towards him.
that person that thinks that money and everything is where it's at. And I really like his story with when he talks about making that box in that AA thing, and he talks about making that perfect box and doing all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember that episode.
Oh my god, that was
Unlike
such a
you, I don't.
great episode.
I don't know if it's been 5 years. I haven't rewatched Breaking Bad. I've only seen the whole show one time.
Okay, so he has that episode where he's in AA, and he talks
Uh-huh.
about he made this shitty box, and he brought it to his his instructor or whatever, and the instructor gave him like a D+. And he's like, "You can't give me a better grade." And he's like, "Well, if this is the best you think you can do," and he's talking about, well, that really stuck with him. He doesn't know why, but it literally got in his crawl. So he went home and he made like 100 boxes until he got to the point where he was like shopping out different woods. And then he got like the perfect paint, and he took like a week to make this perfect little box. And then the person asked him, he got like an A on it, and he asked him, "What'd you do with the box?" And he immediately said like he gave it to his mom or something like that. And then like 2 seconds later goes, "Yeah, no, I sold it for weed. I don't know why I said that." And it was like this like, I don't know, the whole moment was a great observation of like Jesse not caring even like he put all this work into that, and still weed was worth more to him at that point in time in his life. But later on with his character arc, the only reason he went back to drugs was because of all the stuff he was going through. And he became a more moral person over the whole long haul, whereas, like we've just mentioned, Walt just becomes worse and worse and worse.
Worse morally.
Yes.
Worse morally.
Worse
okay?
morally, exactly.
But in some sense his life improves, okay? And maybe it's just Chloe and I being corporate drones.
I'm
But sometimes I want to tell the people that I work with, fuck off. I'm going to go and do what
I don't disagree
my
with
stuff a billion times better. Like, sometimes I get the same sense. I don't know. I guess I sympathize more with Walt.
Yes.
Being
No,
stuck
I get
as
exactly
a
what you're
chemistry teacher, being stuck with particular
Shit.
morons.
I identify more
having
with
to
Jesse
deal
for
with
other
everything.
reasons, so
I
I
think
get what you're
anyone
saying.
in the bureaucracy gets
Yeah.
that feeling.
I don't know.
That
I
feeling that
totally get
Walt experienced.
Dude,
And I just identify with that a lot.
I understand. I had a job where, when I worked at an office job, it literally drove me insane.
Yeah, I bet if you watched that show during that period,
I did.
and I asked you that question at that period,
Yes, that's
you might
the
have
key.
said Walt. You might have said Walt.
I guarantee I would have identified more with him at that period. I guarantee I would.
Yeah.
I hate the corporate world. I cannot stand. Like, it literally crushes my soul to think about the corporate world.
And the exact very person who succeeds in those kind of work are some type of sociopaths, I guarantee you, one way or another.
Yeah.
Yes. No matter what kind of current facade they're portraying in front of the public. But, deep down, it takes some sort of ruthlessness to stab the people so they can climb up.
Hey, all the tech company CEOs that are always pro...
Nice
God,
and rosy.
everything they're pro left. But we can Google who was in on the cartel for anti-poaching, right? Everybody but Zuckerberg, right? Because he needed people.
Needed people?
Yeah, so there was the whole agreement between all the tech CEOs about not poaching employees from each other, which is completely illegal. It's completely antitrust. This is super illegal.
What's illegal now?
You can't come to an... There was 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Uh-huh.
It's been a while. It came out that there was an agreement between all the major tech CEOs. Steve Jobs was in it. Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google.
Larry Page.
He's Google too. I'm trying to go other companies. Amazon, right? No, Microsoft.
Well, anyways, what
was
it?
That they would not approach each other's employees with offers. So they would not try to give each other... They would not try to tempt other employees away from that company.
That's illegal?
Yeah, that's very illegal.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's a trust. It's essentially monopolistic practices, right?
Gotcha.
You're coming together and forming a cartel around tech talent.
Gotcha.
So it came out that they were all doing this, right? But they were all very, very... Oh, let's give to charity, and you should tax billionaires more. But in the same time...
especially Warren Buffett.
Yeah,
Like,
at the same time, they're doing these super shady things.
Yeah, it's like, you
fucking
should tax
people
rich
over
people
completely.
more. Then why are you in the lawsuit with fucking IRS because you don't want to pay the fucking tax?
Yeah.
Once
Exactly.
again, the higher you go up the ladder, the shadier shit gets.
I think it's...
I'm telling you.
So, if you were going to pick a member of Congress that would totally want to suck your dick, right? Some gay man that would want to suck your dick. Some fag.
I don't get where you're going.
You would never do better than the guy that is super anti-gay. The Republican that is really, really, really anti-gay.
Yes.
That is the man that you want to ask for a
That is the man
blowjob.
that will probably blow me so hard.
I guarantee it.
That's very true.
And sometimes I get the feeling that if you go to the strongest social justice warrior, at heart he's the biggest racist.
No, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. They're overcompensating for their own insecurities.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally.
And I think at the tech world, the tech CEOs, a lot of them are basically discriminating heavily.
Against.
They're doing a lot of business manipulation that is ridiculously illegal and getting away with it.
Yep. And
when they're out in public, they're overcompensating.
So is the name of this episode which senator will give me a blowjob?
Sounds great.
Probably.
Dude, speaking of which...
Let me take another shot.
Speaking of which... Well, I'm waiting for you.
Speaking of which, what?
Speaking of which, the fucking 2 senators that got shot. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the start of what we're talking about.
Last I saw, only 1.
Oh, I thought it was 2. I haven't been keeping up with
I
it
think
that
it was
much.
2.
I haven't either. I just saw they were getting shot at...
2 senators at a baseball game.
Yeah. That was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. You think it's going to be a really long summer?
You think one of them was trying to give somebody a blowjob?
It could be. They were Republicans, so you're going to find the anti-gay people there.
One of them was blowing somebody. I don't know. That's fucking
really.
crazy. This is the start of what we were talking about, though, with the violence ramping up against the left and the right.
Yeah, and so they say the summer is always where the height of all violence is, right?
Yeah.
Like, people don't go out and riot in the rain and the cold.
Like, Do the Right Thing. Have you ever seen that show? Or movie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
about that.
And I think, given the level of animosity between both sides at this stage, and the summer coming up, I don't know. It might be a pretty fucking crazy summer. Like, they got the summer of '69. We might have the summer of 2017 real soon.
I honestly
things
don't
really
doubt
fucking
it.
go crazy.
I thought shit might go down. I didn't think this fast shit would go down. So I think it's ramping up way faster than you and I predicted on this podcast.
I don't. So that was one crazy shooting at. Well, I guess it's congressmen, but still.
Yeah, but what happens after the shooting? You have all the right people saying this is fucking bullshit, like these left people, blah, 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 and all the left people are saying, well, those fucking right people deserved it, blah, 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 and it just stirs the pot more.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right?
Yeah.
I say, either way, I know it's not good. It only increases the problems we already have.
Yep.
What was it I said to my friend today? When they were talking, they brought up a news thing about Trump being investigated or something for obstruction of justice. And I looked at him like, it doesn't matter, left or right. There's all this infighting. It doesn't matter. I don't even know who to trust. You can't trust CNN. You can't trust Fox News. You can't trust MSNBC. You can't really trust anybody. And he just looked at me and goes, spoken like a true libertarian. And I went yep. And I was like, because you know what? None of the libertarians have power. So all we try to do is speak the truth.
Yeah. And right now the truth is, I have no motherfucking idea.
Yeah.
Because that is honestly about it. Like, I don't.
Everybody on the left is shouting like they're right, and everything they're saying is correct, and everybody on the right is shouting like they know what's correct and what's right. And as soon as you know exactly what's right,
to me it doesn't look right. It all looks questionable.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think you're all fabricating evidence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, Trump's being investigated. My first thought is, okay, so somebody against him is creating an investigation and submitted that to some news source to make him look bad. Then Fox News is going to have something against the left to submit and make the left look bad.
Yeah.
Sounds
so it doesn't matter what the truth is. The point is, what side are you on?
Exactly. That's the problem, is everybody has a fucking team.
Yeah.
And they just root for their team no matter what.
We should start our own team.
Team Discourse.
Come up with an agenda.
Discourse
a
is
pro-necrophilia agenda.
that's where I was going with it too.
Ridiculous.
Don't know if
We have rights.
We have rights?
Do dead people really have rights? Huh? Is that what we're trying to do now? Give dead people rights? Do they have the
I
right
don't
to
believe
vote?
this party is going very far.
If I can't fuck a dead body, then I don't think a dead body. If I can't do it, the dead body has the right to vote. Then I think dead people should have the right to vote.
That is a clear logic.
I don't even know where to start.
Hashtag dead to rights. I think we got a good agenda here.
Yep.
Does alcohol just make us go directly to necrophilia somehow? Is that what happens?
Something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
I don't know. Do you ever actually watch the Trump handshake? Because it is awkward as fuck what he does when he shakes people's hands.
No, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
He fucking literally, like, pulls people towards him when he shakes people's hands. It's so weird.
Like he's gonna rape them or something?
Like, it's like a dominance thing where he pulls you in, and people, like, literally, like, lunge forward when he pulls them in. And then there's, like, videos of people, like, having defense against it. It's so funny. Have you seriously haven't looked at those at all?
No, not really.
It
is weird.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't like to see too much of him on the news. Because I found this very...
It's
boring.
impossible to avoid it.
That's true.
No, I've avoided
Generally
at least
not
this
watching
handshake.
news anyway,
When
so-
something looks so stupid, like an analysis of the president's handshake, I am totally not going to read it. I'm at that point now.
No, dude, it's like... This has been going on for a long time because it is so weird.
I know, but I've been ignoring it for a long time.
True. It's just so weird.
I don't know.
Like, just imagine shaking somebody's hand, and as you're shaking their hand, pulling them towards you with a lot of force. It's not like a subtle pull. Like,
You know what I would do? Is I wouldn't fight the force. I'd go with it
and just
and
like,
come in
ram
and
into-
totally...
That would be
yeah,
hilarious.
like,
Kiss 'em.
not just hug, but hump as I hug. No, I don't know. I'm not sure how to combat this.
Oh, so with your theory...
Something about not fighting it.
I get your theory now. So if I suck a bunch of dicks, I'm actually the straightest person in the world?
What?
Is that the way it works?
Dude, you have way too much alcohol.
No, because you're saying if you're the most opposite against gays, then you're the gayest person who'd suck the most dicks. So if you suck the most dicks, you're clearly the straightest senator in the world.
No. If you come out... No. If you come out and state... If you tell everyone you've sucked the most dicks in the world, and you're constantly bragging about it, you are probably the straightest man alive.
Oh, it doesn't have
That
to do
would
with
be the
action.
opposite.
It's just
But
about
just be-
talk.
A implies B doesn't mean B implies A, or not B implies not A.
What is this, the fucking SATs, man?
Yes, that's the right thing. A implies B does not mean not B implies not A.
No, A
Right.
implies B means not B implies not A.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Uh-huh.
How do we
A implies B does not imply that
No.
not B does not imply.
A implies B, right?
Yes.
Implies not B implies not A. So A
he's gonna die.
I don't
to
see
B
where you're going with
equals
this.
to not B to
Hey-o.
not A.
Yeah.
Negative reverse.
How do we
Does
always
not.
get drunk and end up on some kind of
Does.
philosophical discussion after we talk about sucking dicks?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yes. You're right. Okay.
Nick is drunk, by the way.
Yeah, I'm very drunk.
Good. Perfect.
I'm trying to think of the actual logical phrase of what I just said. That if you're gay,
If you're outwardly gay,
if you're outwardly against gays,
you therefore are
implies you're really gay, but being outwardly gay does not imply that you're actually really straight. Give me the logical form of that.
gay.
Outwardly
If you're asking me,
being gay.
you're asking the wrong person.
I'm asking Chloe.
Being against gay
implies you're outwardly against gays, mean you're really gay.
If you are not gay...
No. If you're outwardly very gay, pro-gay...
Pro-gay.
No, it doesn't infer...
Yeah, I know, but what's the logical...
You're saying like A infers B, and you're trying to do not A infers... Not A doesn't infer anything.
Say what?
You have to do not B.
Yeah, not A. Okay, I'm starting from not A.
Yeah.
Not B. I tried to go not B implies not A. It's not A implies... does not necessarily imply not B. Yes. You're right.
Ow, stop poking.
You lost me, but I will agree.
Okay.
He's drunk.
A implies B. We grant that, so A implies B.
Yes.
But that does not mean
B implies
not A implies
okay,
not B. That is not necessarily true.
I got you.
There we go. That you can probably cut all this shit out.
No.
That was a very worthless... No, dude, I tried listening to our last podcast and I stopped after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think I could have listened to it again, but that's because I knew everything. So I don't know how entertaining it was for first-time listeners.
Well, what we just went through, I think, was just like that podcast. You don't need to include that.
All right, here. There we go. So anyways...
What the fuck was that?
It was a loud clap so I could know where this part was. And now you're just making... Man, now it's more work for me again.
Is that all I need to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So what else are we talking about?
Actually, it's getting late for me, so...
So let's keep you up a little while longer.
Let's summarize by... You can't... Hold on. Let me rephrase this without the A's and B's. If you are very anti-gay, it implies that you are actually gay. But being outwardly gay does not imply that you are actually straight.
Correct.
There. We have our summary. Senators, take note.
But, being a member of the Discourse of Human Events implies necessarily that you are pro-necrophilia.
Does it, though? I hope it really doesn't.
It implies at least that you've probably discussed it at an unusually...
Unusually high amount, yes.
Yes.
A disturbingly amount.
A disturbingly large amount.
Well above the acceptable amount.
Oh, man.
Dude, our numbers... Okay, let's end this. That's a good spot to end this.
We're ending it? Let me cut it off.